Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome to the JavaPosse episode 400, the third Java presidential debate. First, please all stand and sing the Java national anthem.
Oh, hats off, gentlemen. Hats off. Have we got any sound? Uh-oh.
Do we have sound on the...
Uh-oh. Back up, back up. Full start.
Can we have sound on the portable, please?
In my future world of Java, technical hitches like this will never happen in demos.
Java, Java, jing, jing, jing. Java, jing, jing, jing. It's not a cup of coffee, but as hot as can be. Came pouring through the gates on a Big Mac Neely, singing Java, 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 jing, jing, jing.
Sorry. Was that
Thank you.
stealing? Was that stealing the limelight?
What a ham.
Thank you. In this session, we will meet the candidates for the President of Java in a town hall setting. We will have some prepared questions for the candidates, but you are also encouraged to ask your own. And you will get an Atlassian t-shirt if you do for a Java... Hold on. And... Please don't laugh, it's a serious matter. Shh. Let's turn this on. And we'll get an Atlassian t-shirt if you do for your Java patriotism. Also, since these proceedings are less formal than the previous two debates, beer is available for everyone who wants it. Please drink and vote responsibly. I am your moderator, Stephan Janssen. And gentlemen, welcome. Let's have a nice, clean debate. Not like the last one. I still see your hats are seriously damaged. In particular, please try and remain positive and respectful for one another. And now, before we start, let's take a quick commercial break.
Carl Quinn drives an electric car, but is it Java-powered? We don't think so.
Paid for by developers for a static year, type-safe year Java.
Did you know Dick doesn't eat his carrots? Everyone knows carrots are good for night vision. Do you want a president that can't even see in the dark?
Paid for by the Department of Code Readability.
Chet spends most of his time writing native code to optimize graphics stacks. Do you want your president of Java to be wrangling pointers?
Paid for by the Friends of Joe Nuxle.
Tor likes ABBA.
Paid for by citizens for the preservation of Windows Mobile 8.
Welcome back. First, today, let's allow each of the candidates a minute for introducing themselves and the platform upon which they will or run, upon which they are running for President of Java. Let's start on the left. Dick, you have 1 minute.
Thank you, Stefan. So I am running on a platform of progress. I'd like to see Lambda completed, then I'd like to see traits added, full mixing with trait linearization. I'd like to see implicits added to the language, a whole bunch of new features, more functionality. A couple of years in, I think maybe we can change the name and drop the J and the V and stick a sk and a l in there instead. Just saying. That's my platform.
Thank you. The next candidate, please.
So I, first of all, would like to make the tab character a hard error by JavaC. I also am running on a anti-patent platform. And finally, I think we need to do more for the children. I'm running on the children are our future, basically. So please vote for me, vote for the children.
So I'm running on the platform to make Java a little more groovy. You know, it's just a little bit too uptight. I'm just going for the the groovy, progressive approach, so keeping things flexible and malleable and always going forward, right? And puppies. Puppies are nice. Puppies are part of my core platform.
My fellow Java programming language TM developers. I believe that trees don't grow on trees, but that hash maps do. I believe that semicolons are beautiful. I believe that all garbage should be collected. And I would like to point out that I have not served jail time for felonies, unlike the other candidates running. Vote for me.
Hey, it wasn't a felony.
Okay, thank you very much. So we will now go over to the questions that we have received from the community, and feel free to actually add more questions by going to the mic or just shouting it in my ear. Very good.
I should say very quickly, if you want a t-shirt, please go to the mic. Thanks.
So maybe let's start with the questions I've received from the community. This is the first. As a potential leader of the free Java world, what kind of Java community service records can you point to personally? Let's go and start with Dick.
7 years on the JavaPosse.
7 years on the JavaPosse.
7 years on the JavaPosse.
Can I take a pass?
7 years is a long time, and highly appreciated.
I actually believe in some states in the US people get less for murder.
I'm just going through the list. Next one. Is Java 1 dead? It's a random question.
It's not dead yet.
I'm just following the script, seriously. Sharat?
I'm feeling better.
In my future Java, ladies and gentlemen, I see a bright, sunny future for Java 1. First, we'll round up all the Oracle 1 people. Second, we'll ship them off to Haiti. And third, we'll get back Java 1.
I think we need better toys for children. And in order to help the children have a great future, we should also have free school lunches with really delicious food. Thank you.
So my proposal is that with every Java 1 pass, the attendees will get a puppy. That's it.
I have been to some fabulous Java 1s in the past.
Thank you for your answers.
Time for a commercial?
I think it's time for a commercial.
Carl Quinn works for Netflix. He probably watches movies all day. Probably chick flicks. Is that the kind of president you want for Java?
Paid for by Microsoft. Use .NET responsibly.
Tor codes a lot.
Code readability.
Too much. He may have a problem. Can you trust someone with a coding problem who can't admit it?
I admit it. Okay.
Told ya.
Okay, those were the breaks. Up to the next question. Are they ever going to finish Jigsaw? We'll start on the left.
I'm really puzzled by the question.
Okay. Do you want me to repeat the question, sir?
No, I'm just puzzled by it in general.
I think they will eventually, and it will turn out to be a big puzzle of puppies.
Yeah, I think that it's really key for our children to have lots of jigsaw puzzles.
In my opinion, I don't think they will finish Jigsaw. The reason being, I know for a fact that the dog ate at least one of the pieces. And you know how difficult it is to finish a jigsaw puzzle with a missing piece.
Okay, thank you for your answers. I've got a question from an anonymous person on the whiteboard. What number am I thinking of?
Actually, sir, whoever you are, that is an excellent question. I believe you're thinking of the number 9. The number 9 is when all of the new features that I propose will be put into Java.
I'm thinking 65,535. You know, it's got lots of ones in it.
I'm thinking 1 billion, maybe 5 billion. How many Java developers will have once Java is groovy?
So unfortunately, that method was incorrectly implemented in the current version, and it currently returns not a number. But there is a fix on the way that'll be in the next ... release.
Cool. Thank you. I was thinking about number 42, basically, but that's fine.
That one was already on the board.
That one's wrong.
It's wrong.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Let's go back to a commercial break.
Dick loves Scala. Did you know that Scala C's CPU usage is a significant source of carbon emissions and is contributing heavily to global warming? Don't vote for Dick.
Vote for
Paid for
Polar.
by citizens for a groovier Java.
Carl Quinn works for Netflix. He probably watches movies all day. Probably chick flicks. Is that the kind of president you want
Paid
for
for by friends
Java?
of Joe Nuxel.
I think somebody didn't QA this slide, right? Can we do another one?
Sure.
In his blog, Chet's aspirations to royalty are well documented. Does he even believe in democracy?
Paid for by the friends of Joe Nuxel.
Okay, welcome back. So, next question. Java and JavaFX for iOS. When can we expect it when you are president?
I propose to levy a tax on all iOS programs that do not use Java technology. End of speech.
I just want to point out that none of my opponents are wearing a Duke lapel pin. Do they really love this community? I'm not sure about that. I just want to make you ask yourself that question. Are they patriotic enough? If you can't see it, you're not worthy.
So my platform, we will attempt to get JavaFX on iOS, but I foresee some patent difficulties, so it may take more than one term to get that completed.
Actually, I think the question was mispronounced. Maybe it's like a American English Belgian thing, but it was, what about Java and JavaFX for IOs, meaning, of course, Google I/O, the conference.
Yeah.
I would encourage them to submit papers.
Very good, thank you. Talking about Google I/O, when can we actually buy the Nexus 10?
In my future Java, every home will have a Nexus 10 in the pot.
Yeah, I'm running on a pro-children platform, and every child, of course, is going to have a Nexus 10, clearly.
Of course. But every puppy given to every attendee of Java 1 will have a Nexus 10 attached to it.
I just want to point out that puppies aren't free. There's walks, there's litter. It's not free.
You should make your children take care of the puppies.
Yeah. And these puppies come with a garbage collector built in, so they won't leave a mess at all.
What was the question?
You work for Google, when can we buy the Nexus 10?
Just follow me back to my hotel room after the show. I've got one there.
Great, we'll all share it. Very good. Now we'll go on into a more technical question. Who knows the JASPIC API in Java E6?
Did you say aspic?
JASPIC, he said.
In my future of Java, everyone will know the JASPIC API in Java E6.
Well, we clearly have to work on vocabulary for our children.
Wow, man. What was the question?
I heard the question. I just don't really get the question.
from the board?
This is from the board. It's JASBIC. Anybody knows what
Any of
JASPIC
our
is?
listeners want to tell us what
Who's the
JASPIC
guilty
is?
one who put it on there?
Aspic
I've
is
always
really
been a
disgusting
supporter
food.
of the JASPIC community. You just look at my community service, and I've always been a friend.
That's good.
Suck up.
Well, let's go to a more... Yeah, okay, well, they're telling me in my ear here on the right that we need to go to another commercial.
Dick Wall says he likes to listen to Queen. Royalty. What kind of president believes in monarchy?
Paid for by the People's Committee for the Ethical Treatment of Bugs.
Tor says Android is the answer, but in his career, Tor has enslaved countless Android devices and made them do his bidding. Free the androids.
Paid for by the People's Committee for the Ethical Treatment of Bugs.
Okay, welcome back. Another question. When will you switch to JavaScript?
I'll take that.
Can-
Never!
I have to say, for once, I agree with the new guy.
Yeah.
I believe I would switch to JavaScript. It needs
Of course you would.
a few new features. Static typing,
Benedict
traits, implicits,
Traits like traders.
case classes, a
Traders.
couple of others, and then I'm switching straight away. Maybe a name change in there as well.
Maybe it would look a little bit like Dart.
Be nice.
Okay, so following up question, while you're switching, what about Windows Phone 8?
What? I didn't know they made 8 of them.
support for the children.
They've actually made 8 of those? Did anybody buy them?
I got nothing.
Okay, moving along. Another technical question. Will JavaFX survive HTML5 and CSS3? Will JavaFX survive HTML5?
I think we should free JavaFX now. JavaFX has been a political prisoner for far too long.
I think JavaFX has a future on platforms that aren't browser-oriented. And especially when you put Groovy on top of JavaFX, it's really awesome.
I have always been a friend to the JavaFX community, and if you vote for me, you'll be safe.
Under my administration, there would be far more use of solar and wind energy to free our dependence upon petroleum reserves.
Any questions from the crowd? Because we have like T-shirts to give away and beer. Oh, you already got that one. Yeah, sir.
Which will be your official beer?
Which will be our official beer?
The one that's in front of me.
As my father was very fond of saying, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
How'd that work out for him?
Pretty good so far. No frontal lobotomy yet.
So what's our favorite beer when we come here? We always have to get a quack, just because it sounds funny. So that's my favorite beer.
What's the one that just ends
Quack,
up in your face
quack.
when you're drinking it?
That's it. Quack.
All right, yeah, quack.
Any other community questions? Yes, sir.
With which tool are we going to build the next Java?
With which tool are we going to build the next Java?
I think we need a jigsaw as the tool to build the Java.
I'm going to go out on the limb and say it's probably going to be an IDE.
I'm a believer in equality for all tools, and that's the platform that I'm running on.
Possibly a compiler. Not entirely sure.
Machine gun. It's getting serious out there. You've got to defend the turf.
Okay, another community question, sir.
What do you think about those guys from OpenJDK? Are they communists?
Are the guys from OpenJDK communists? I've always been a friend to the OpenJDK community
Yes.
and to the community who thinks that the OpenJDK community are communists.
Yeah. I think hippies are groovy, man, so it's okay.
I've always thought of them more as kind of Trotskyites with a little bit of, sort of traditional Leninist leanings. Not as much sort of the generalist communists, which I think is overused.
Always been a friend to those communities, whether they were.
As long as they had children? Is that your only platform?
As long as they go out and vote.
Okay, thank you. Any other community questions? Yes, sir. Can you stand up and just...
Actually, guys, it's not a question, but a request. May I take a picture with you?
Okay, everybody come down one at a time.
Actually, I don't.
And we'll line up.
I don't know how questions and statements
If you go
work
to
in this country,
the
but that actually was a question.
votefortorpresident.com, you can donate.
Oh, sorry.
And there's also lots of press materials where you can download
Security will
images
not
of
allow
me.
this, sorry. Let me please interrupt. Security will not allow that, sir. So we cannot have that. This will be definitely a crowd issue, so you have to wait after the session. Thank
But
you.
once again, I sell images of myself with your image uploaded for a very small donation.
With children.
And you're also helping the children's future.
I think it's time for a commercial break.
Carl is in touch with today's youth. Do we want a president who touches our youths?
Paid for by No on 255.
Dick Wall, can you trust a guy with a name that sounds like a porn star?
Paid for by the Friends of Joe Nuxall.
Okay, welcome back. Community question. Stand up. Over there, I see your hand. Yep.
Nice simple one. Windows, Mac, or Linux?
Windows, Mac, or Linux? Answer is simple for me. Linux will triumph and crush all others under its heels. That may be a little extreme, but tough.
Well, I hate to alienate voters, but I think I probably already alienated a lot of Windows voters in the past, so I'm not really a fan of Windows. That's all I'll say. But I love everyone else, especially if they go out and vote.
Macs are pretty, Macs are groovy, but to get the serious work done, you need a Linux box.
In honor of Joe, I should say Mac, obviously, and I should say it in a really kind of arrogant and patronizing way. Sort of a real kind of aggressive fanboy stance. But I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to say Android.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question. Sir.
What are your thoughts about Oracle?
What are our thoughts about Oracle?
They're big
They're red?
and red.
I've always wanted to go to Greece.
I don't have any.
I think Larry's quite a good sailor now, isn't he? Or at least he has a good team of sailors.
He knows how to buy a boat, man.
He certainly does.
That is a hell of a boat.
And an island.
But I guess you have to give him some props because, the work of maintaining the whole Java environment, the whole JDK is a lot of work, requires a lot of money, a lot of resources. So you got to give him a little props for that, right? And some stability there. So
Yeah, and I have many friends at Oracle, and I really respect a lot of their work.
One more thing. Free Jenkins. Thank you.
All right. Sir?
Will Oracle win the America's Cup?
I didn't know they even had a soccer team.
And I'm in power, yes.
Was that a sports question for the JavaPosse? Clearly not a listener.
Okay, so we're going to have T-shirts handing out for the people who are speaking by the people of the folks from Atlassian.
The whole going up to the microphone
good.
thing didn't really take.
No,
did
that's
it?
fine. We'll do it like that. And if you repeat it, that's perfect. Sir, at the end, if you can stand up. Yeah.
What is your favorite IDE?
What is my favorite IDE? Well, I'm a bit of an IDEA fan, personally, to answer seriously. But I will switch to Eclipse when it gets good enough for Scala.
I use Eclipse at the time. I wouldn't say I love it, but I like it. And I think I like the other IDEs as well, but I'm using Eclipse now, and I'm pretty happy with it.
So when I get the opportunity to use an IDE, I go for IntelliJ, but I'm often in Sublime or Emacs for just quick stuff.
My favorite idea is world peace.
World peace. I didn't know you like green vegetables. Ground up in a blender.
Okay. I see a question over on the left. Tasha?
Are you able to spell JavaPosse backwards?
No.
ESSOPAVAG. J.
VOTEFORDICK. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Tor was never good at spelling.
Sir, at the front row.
Don't vote for Tor.
Oh, a very interesting question. Thank you for that.
Well, I think you should all vote for these three guys for vice
Can you first
president.
repeat the question?
I think I want to sort of have a consensus-building platform where we're all working together under me.
If I were elected, I would appoint Stephan Janssen as my vice president to represent the European community.
In our very fair and even democracy, anybody who votes for me the most becomes my vice president. Okay, so
actually
vote
planning-
hard, early, and often.
I'm actually planning on not being president, but king, and kings don't need vice presidents.
Okay, sir.
Is any of you programming in Java?
Sorry, say
Can you repeat that?
Is any of you programming in Java?
Is any of my programming in Java? Yes, all of it. All of it runs on the JVM.
Yes, unlike my opponents, I only write in Java. I write in Java all day. I am 100% committed to the Java language.
Don't you use Android?
I'm writing Eclipse plugins all day. That's what I do. I write tooling. So that's all in Java. Can I remind you? In Java. He writes C and C++ code. Is Groovy even part of the platform? I'm not sure.
Groovy is, man.
Global warming, everyone. Think of the polar bears.
And I'm actually writing lots of Groovy with static type checking turned on. So
Keep it
it's like
professional.
Java with closures. It
Sounds a bit like a hippie thing to me.
It is. But it's
Get a
really
haircut.
cool, man.
Keep it decent, please. This is a presidential debate.
I do write quite a bit of code in the Java programming language TM.
Okay. Thank you for that. It's time, sorry. It's time for a quick break. Commercial.
Chet is new. Where did this guy even come from? No one has heard of him before. Has anyone even seen his JavaPosse certificate? I heard he was born in Kenya. Vote for a true Java candidate.
Paid for by the DevOps Political Action Committee.
Tor likes drinks with umbrellas in them. Tor likes ABBA. Enough said.
Paid for by developers for a static year, type-safe year Java.
Okay, welcome back. Time for another community question. Sir.
Yes, if you were stranded on an island and you could only have one build tool with you, which would it be?
If we were stranded on an island and we could only have one build tool with us, which would it be? Am I stranded with somebody else there? We have a team of 4. I'd like a machine gun, please.
Does a boat count as a tool? Build tool? Hammer?
I would pick a tool that was the grooviest tool of all to do your building. I would pick Gradle.
I was just going to have a boat building tool, which is going to be a lot faster than a simple hammer. Go for the guy with the answers.
Okay, thank you. Sir.
Why always just in time?
It's never in time. What are you talking about?
I
Everything's
believe the
always
question
late.
was, why always just in time? Yes, in my future, every program will write itself before you even know you want it.
I just want to give a technical answer because I just want to show that I have the background to represent you. So the reason you don't want it ahead of time is that prevents certain optimizations that can take advantage of the actual runtime data and processor you have available. So if you go and pre-compile everything, you're not taking advantage of the ultimate thing, which would be the dynamic data. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep halfway through that answer.
Actually, there's
Sometimes the truth is not glamorous, but that's why you vote for the responsible guy who's going to have real answers, not just negative advertising.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep halfway through that response.
So in my platform for children, I think that the attention span program is going to be very beneficial to you.
I have to point out that the complete version of Tor's answer would be that your management is going to find out that you finished and they're going to give you something else to do.
Okay. Sir, another question.
Hey, what would you do with the GCP administration?
The JCP? I think it is, what would you do with the JCP administrations? I have always been a supporter of the people in the JCP that do the work. The rest should be round up and shot.
I would create a presidential cabinet position and appoint committee members, and then create a whole action committee, and then think about what we would do with the JCP.
Yeah, I think this needs further study. I would also set down a commission to look at the potential budget impact and fiduciary responsibilities that are necessary to handle this crisis.
I fell asleep halfway through that answer.
Is the Gulag still open for business? The Gulag?
Thank you. Okay. All right, another question. I see, yeah, well, there's lots of light. So there's two ladies there, I see, right? Yeah. Mike? So, yeah. Hold on.
How are you going?
Hold on. Test, do the test.
Test?
Yeah.
How are you going to convince more women to work in IT together with you?
I believe the answer begins with our children. And
actually,
and this isn't just a campaign slogan. I actually mean that. I think that it's very important that we, encourage both boys and girls to pursue technical careers.
But I think puppies would attract more people in general, including women, but not only women.
I always understood it that when men and women got together, the starting point wasn't children. That's actually the ending point.
Under my future, nerdiness would be discouraged. I think that will address it.
Speaking from the biggest nerd of the group.
Yeah, I haven't quite covered that part of the strategy yet.
I think working on stereotypes is also pretty important, right? So shows like, what is it called, Big Bang Theory, and shows like that can sort of help make it more acceptable to be interested in technology, and I think that could help as well. And we also have to get rid of sexism in our workforce.
But even Big Bang Theory doesn't have women as the smart ones.
I don't actually watch it, I'm sorry.
Oh, there is one. Actually, no, it's okay.
Spoken like a true politician.
I'm just too busy taking care of children.
Is there another question from the mic? No. There's a sir. Yeah, Peter?
Yeah, I know you passed or trying to pass a bill through the recent Java Congress. I believe it's called JavaPosse Care. Can you explain a bit more about
JavaPosse Care. Yeah, I'm against JavaPosse caring about anything, really.
I think it's horrendous that 30 million people are without JavaPosse care, and under my administration we would fund it up so that every citizen of this community has full access to JavaPosse care.
I don't think people realize that JavaPosse already cares about every one of you.
My administration would actually...
Are we on Fox News?
My fellow JavaPossians, my administration would support and enforce an opposing bill called Don't Care.
Thank you. All right, I think it's time for a quick commercial. We'll be back shortly.
If Dick loves Java so much, why is he spending so much of his time with Scala? Think about it.
Paid for by the tab character lobby.
Carl is quiet, very quiet. What is he thinking about? What is he not telling us? You can't trust the silent types. Vote against Carl Quinn on Thursday.
Paid for by the Statically Typed Languages Advocacy Group.
Okay, welcome back. Sir, at the back.
when your presidential campaign is over, would you mind bringing Joe from the stage?
I didn't hear that.
He wanted to spend more time with his family. Oh, I'm sorry. The question was, when the presidential campaign is over, can you let Joe out of the basement you're having him locked up in? I think that's what the question was. And I'm saying, no, he's voluntarily withdrawn from public life and he wants to spend more time with his family.
It's actually a sad story, but while working with us, Joe was party to some secret plans which must never see the light of day. He has been removed from society for his and society's own protection.
Joe had a serious cat problem, too much love of cats. So we now have him in a deep puppy immersion class. And once he becomes a dog person, then we'll let him out again.
Geez, I hope not. I feel so awesomely cool up here. I'd hate for him to come back and take this hat away from me.
Okay, thank you. Sir? Oh, nice one.
Well, so the question was, what's your strategy for getting the votes from the swing states? And as I hope you all know,
From the Java swing state.
Antwerp is a swing state. This is why we're all spending all of our campaign funds on advertising on the local airwaves. And that's why I'm here, to talk to you in person. I deeply care about your vote, your vote. Can I count on you today to vote, sir?
So, but everybody knows the best way to program on Swing is with Griffin. And the best, and Griffin is the grooviest language, grooviest platform for Swing. And that's vote for me if you're interested in being the grooviest.
Did I mention already that the person who votes for me the most gets to be vice president?
I also wanted to point out that in addition to being a swing state, we have basically two classifications. It's such a polarized nation. We have blue states and we have red states. Antwerp, have you seen the weather? It's actually a gray state.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, sir.
What will you do about software patents?
What will we do about software patents? Do you want to take this one first?
Yeah, as you all know by now, that is one of my core principles of my platform, is basically to abolish software patents. They are BS. Thank you.
I think the first thing would be just to get rid of all lawyers, and then we just ignore the software patents. It's all cool.
Unless you are a lawyer living here with the privilege and right to vote. In that case, vote for me.
I think we need a re-education program for all of the people who think that patents are part of their living in order to give them a way out. But other than that, let's get rid of them.
My lawyer has advised me not to answer this question.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody at the mic? No. Any other community questions? Yes, sir. Yeah.
I missed the very last bit of it.
The question, how will you prevent our jobs from going to .NET countries? And I think that we're basically being helped by Microsoft to do that, isn't that true?
I think actually the mutually assured destruction plan takes care of that nicely.
I think anything we do to make our platform more attractive and more groovy will prevent anyone from wanting to leave. So that's how we keep the jobs on our platform.
I think going to an ocean paradise is a very nice vacation idea.
Yeah, sir.
What are your thoughts on Minecraft, a very popular game, even on Xbox, written in Java?
What are our thoughts on Minecraft, a very popular game written in Java for all sorts of platforms, in fact, because Java can run anywhere. My thoughts are that Minecraft is a very nice place. I spent a lot of time there last summer. Their tourism is a little down. I'd like to offer them some financial aid to run up their tourist industry.
I think the mining industry is critical to ensure that we have enough natural resources to basically fund our future expansion plans and also to help the children.
I support Minecraft as long as they don't begin mining coal, because we know that coal will add to global warming, and we got to stay away from that. So green energy is what I'm in favor of. Peace out, man.
You have a fan. You have one fan. Minecraft. I dig it.
Okay, yeah, sir, in the back.
I believe we've
we already
answered
had
that
that
already,
question.
actually. How about Java for iOS? I can't even remember what I answered before.
Could you just, Stephan, could you read the transcript?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll go to the next question, I think, right?
Yeah, maybe a commercial.
Yeah, it's a great time to quick commercial.
Chet likes to say he is in touch with the common developer, but in this picture, he can clearly be seen wearing a tie. Chet has the everyman choice.
Paid for by No Way, absolutely freaking no way.
Dick is running a negative campaign. What a poopy head.
Paid for by the Committee Against Poopy Heads.
Welcome back. So we have still 90 minutes for some more community questions. Sir, in the middle.
What do we think about the saying?
I think it's about time we had a new COBOL, don't you?
I was tired of writing in the old COBOL. But is COBOL such a bad thing? I mean, that's like saying Java is the lingua franca.
What's lingua franca?
I think that means...
The French people know what that means. They'll understand.
I think that means overly verbose, obtuse, and difficult to use. But I could be wrong.
Well, I think that COBOL has sort of a negative name because there were so many alternatives that are much better. I think today it's not clear exactly what it is. My opponent probably would argue Scala, but I think that there are certain advantages to Java still. The tooling is better. There are a lot of things that I think would be more tricky to do. And so I think that we're not quite ready to pronounce it sort of the legacy-only system yet, because lots of new code is being written by yours truly. Vote for me.
If it weren't for Tor, I think there would be nobody writing Java, right?
I would like to point out that my previous statements were directed against COBOL, not Java.
Waffler.
I would direct them against Java,
But this is the home of
I
the
believe
wafflers.
it might lose me some votes, so I'm not going to.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, sir, in the middle.
Open source or money? In my future, open source will be money.
I don't think you can really ask that as sort of a mutually exclusive question. I think that you can get a lot of money by doing open source stuff, if you do it right.
So if you give everything away for free, you can just make it up in volume.
I think that if you go to the drugstore and you spend just a little bit of money, you can get something to treat those open sores.
Okay, it's time for a quick commercial. We'll be back shortly.
Carl likes to talk about Groovy as a solution. But did you know that in college, Carl smoked an entire Groovy and inhaled? Is this the kind of Groovy you want in leadership?
Paid for by the Statically Typed Languages Advocacy Group.
Dick Wall is from England, where they drink tea, not Java. Tea. Vote for Java.
Paid for by citizens for a groovier Java.
Okay, welcome back. Okay, sir, with the hat.
How will we handle the emerging JVM language wars? I may need a moment on this one. Anyone?
I think we'll embrace all the languages. We all just get together in one big love fest. It's groovy, man.
I think this is probably one of those places where it's okay for the market and evolution to duke it out. Let them all sort of compete and let the best ideas sort of float to the top, and there'll probably be lots of cross-pollination, and they'll each sort of just leapfrog each other until someone gets consensus. And if not, it'd be great to have some common APIs, like a closure API, so that a closure in one language
So are
can
you
be
advocating
called
closure of the
as another
language?
closure.
It sounds like you're leaning towards one of them.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
Closure,
that let
the
them
language?
fight it out, and whoever's best wins.
Fascist.
And if not, if we get to this equilibrium where there's 2 or 3 top competing languages. Let's come up with some kind of an API so that when you compile in, well, I'm going to go on a limb and say, let's say Scala. If you make a Scala closure, you should be able to call that from Groovy if Groovy is still around. Wait, it's popular here, right? Groovy's great.
I would like to echo my esteemed colleague's sentiments, but also add a weighting of weapon distribution that favors statically typed languages.
What a bunch of wishy-washy, namby-pamby answers. Going fast, going hard, and kill them all.
Great. Thank you for your feedback. Okay. Sir, on the middle.
As a president, what would be our most important ministry?
Silly walks.
Could you please demonstrate, sir? Sir, could you please demonstrate?
No.
Okay. You won't get any votes.
It's either the Ministry of Coding or the Department of Coding. I'm not sure, but they might both have a lot of power.
Chocolate.
Movies.
The Ministry of Movies could be good.
Okay. Yeah, sir. Oh, hold on. Let's go all the way in the back, and I'll come back to you later. Yeah, sir, all the way in the back.
Really shout, please. How will we handle the problems caused by XML minorities? I think if we sharpened up the angle brackets, the problem will probably take care of itself in time. There will be blood.
I think we need a re-education program to convert all of those minorities into JSON-based minorities.
So this is where I disagree violent with my opponents. I'm not going to call them esteemed for their opinions. I think actually data should not be in code. I think XML is a fine format for data.
No,
and I stand up for
JSON
the
is
rights
much better
of XML
format.
minorities.
Consider fishing for a weekend idea.
Okay, at the back. No, well, hold on. All the way at the back, yeah.
Can we demonstrate the Gangnam Style dance?
Okay, so
I think that... I think I'll hold off of that one for a while.
Yeah, I'll do anything for a vote.
Jet?
I would like to maintain the gravity that a presidential authority figure needs to have.
Okay. Thank you.
Stuff shirt.
I think it's time for a commercial. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that while Chet was still married to Java, he started dating Flex, and that he flashed, and has even moved on to a new mistress now? Don't trust a man with flexible morals.
Paid for by people for ethical treatment of Java.
Tor? Abba? Seriously?
Paid for by no way, absolutely freaking no way.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, sir, in the middle.
Do we have plans to take over DevOps, and which one do we prefer, London, France, or Antwerp? I don't think we have any plans to take it over. It's running nicely, and it's providing us with a good platform for our voting right now. So as long as that continues, there is no problem. As long as that continues.
In my presidency, I would support a joint leadership position with all of the DevOps. All of the DevOpses, and the DevOpses at the DevOpses.
Well, the polling on the ground says that I'm far ahead in London right now and far behind in Paris. So I'm basically going to spend all my funds here for this audience. I care about your vote more than those other guys.
This is confidential information in my ministry on a strictly need-to-know basis. I can't go into it right now. I would say, though, that we are strongly recommending to Stephan that he change the name of his conference, because we reserved the words DEV and he can't use them.
Damn.
Do we have a trademark on them yet? Or a patent?
We're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
To answer the other question, I think that all three countries have a great deal to offer. Clearly, Antwerp has the diamonds, France has the food, and the UK has pretty much frickin' everything else.
Thank you.
It would be nice if they had food.
And the cool thing is we can get on a high-speed train and just go back and forth between all of them. It's cool.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
How about my own beer brand? Well, in my Java, I'm already ahead on this one, being a home brewer of some note at this point. Strictly speaking, I guess I'm a brewer's mate, but it's close enough for government work. Yes is the answer to whatever the question is involving beer.
But have you actually brewed a Java beer? See, I personally have brewed a Java beer, and it's really good.
These guys are brewing at home. I think they might have a problem.
Whatever's in front of me, I don't care.
Okay. Hold on. Sir, way in the back? Yeah.
When will we bring the roundup to Europe?
Very good question.
When there's at least 2 other clones of me, so I have enough time to do it, I think would be the answer to that one, to start with. Maybe if I have a really good year, then next year will be a bit more free time or something. That was a very sensible answer. Puppies and kittens.
Well, in all seriousness, we actually have talked about that repeatedly. We have a lot of listeners here, and we like Europe. I think the biggest blocker for us is that this is not our day job. And we're very lucky to have Bruce Eckel, who sort of sets everything up for us in Colorado. So it would sort of really take someone to do not just the picking of place, but and there's actually contracts that have to be written, liability and all kinds of crazy stuff.
So we would need an anchor, somebody to actually own, sort of take care of setting up the venue and getting things.
And we were talking to someone a couple of years ago, but it didn't happen. I think the timeline didn't work, and it required us to get more involved, which we didn't do because we were busy. So
and we're lazy.
It's something we actually would like to do.
Dick's nice. Nice guys finish last. Vote for Chet.
Impromptu commercial break there, I think.
The beer did it, I think.
So you were
He
saying,
clearly has friends at the network, with the special rig and the special commercials. Who did he pay, and what did he pay?
Question was, when are we going to have a roundup in Europe? Next Tuesday, if you vote for me.
okay, we're at 8 minutes, so it's actually our final question. Now, it has to be good if you put your arm up, because we're going to ask your name, and if it's not good, CIA will get you. You're certain about it?
I couldn't hear that. Did you?
Can you repeat that? Stand up, please.
Immigration, Java. Immigration problem from Java to other countries. How would you solve it, Carl?
I would like to talk about something that I care far more about. The penguins in Antarctica are very, very cold. Okay? These are cold, cold penguins. I care about the penguins. Vote for Scala so that we give them a warmer environment to live in.
I just want to point out that my opponent did not actually answer the question. Did you all notice that? Why is he afraid to tackle the difficult problems of our day? I think that the critical thing to address this is to make sure that Java remains competitive. If it stagnates, if we don't deliver new features, if we don't basically meet the needs of developers, then people might go to other languages. And so I think the key thing for us is to just make sure that we keep the pressure up and that Java continues to evolve. Thank you. Vote for Tor.
But as I mentioned earlier in my platform, the JavaPosse Care platform, everyone gets puppies. And we know that once you have puppies, you have to take care of them. You can't leave.
Dom Blanche, French fries, beer, Antwerp rocks.
Okay, time for a quick break.
Tor wants to
Systems for the
code.
preservation
But what
of
is he
local-
coding? Punching keys like a monkey. So Tor is a monkey who loves punching things. Can you trust a violent monkey? Vote no. Carl is from America. Americans are bad at other languages. Don't you want a Java president who is good at languages?
Paid for by the People's Committee for the Ethical Treatment of Bugs.
Is that all of them? I think we just got to burn them up now.
Tor Norbye doesn't like server-side code. But that's a large part of what we all do as Java developers. Can we trust a president who doesn't support all of us?
Paid for by No on 255.
Did you know Carl's mother was a hamster and his father smelt of elderberries?
Paid for by fans of Mighty Python.
How many more have we got? Do you remember?
Tor is from Norway. Do we want the Vikings raping and pillaging our language?
Paid for by fans of Mighty Python.
I think that's it. Okay, so I guess time to maybe wrap it up.
Is this where we fight?
No, that's at the very end. Yes, please stay for the fight. It will be entertaining. What I would like you to do now, after we've had a brief moment to thank some of our sponsors after this, is on your way out. If you thought that either myself or Tor were worth voting for, then please vote thumbs up on the board on the way out. If, however, you thought that Carl or Chet are worth a vote, please vote thumbs up on the way out. If you believe that we all stink, please vote thumbs up on the way out. Thank you. Right, I think we're on to the thank yous. Okay, so first of all, thank you Atlassian once again for stepping up, providing beer. It's really quite a massive undertaking to provide this many beers and to get people in the room, and we managed to do it, I think, this year. Last year there was a big problem getting people into the room, so that's great. Thank you, Atlassian, for your continued support and for lobbying so hard. Also, what's next? I think there's at least a couple of more people to thank. Oh, yeah, there's that guy, Stephan Janssen, who is our moderator. Stephan, please stand up.
Nice sweater, Stephan.
And not just Stephan, but as you can see, there's a sea of beautiful, beautiful blue, which is my campaign colour, incidentally.
Please stand up.
Please stand up, guys. And anyone you see wearing a blue hoodie. They made this possible. They, frankly, have done a better job with Wi-Fi than I've ever seen done at a conference of this size. It's consistently a great conference, this one. Can't say thank you enough for once again inviting us back. Brilliant. And finally, of course, we'd like to thank all of our loyal listeners, not voters, listeners.
All of you.
Thank you. Thank you very
me.
much for continuing to support us. It blows my mind, frankly, that we seem to still continue to grow week after week, but there you go. In case any of you didn't realize, Chet, we haven't really announced this, Chet is officially joining us as the fourth member of the JavaPosse.
The press can take
Open Gangnam Style.